Have you ever wondered why a steaming cup of aromatic coffee could become your most dependable ally in the quest for a long, vibrant life? For many, coffee is simply a quick fix, a caffeine-driven surge that gets the brain buzzing and the muscles moving. The prevailing myth is that coffee's only contribution is a temporary lift in energy, with no real impact on health or aging. In reality, scientists and nutrition technologists are now working to transform the humble bean into a true bioactive elixir that can slow cellular senescence, support mental acuity, protect musculoskeletal health, and do all of this while being simple enough to brew in the comfort of a kitchen. In this narrative, we will walk through vivid real-world examples, unpack the underlying biology, and reveal a step-by-step method that requires no exotic equipment or expensive supplement stacks. Stay with me, and you'll discover how your daily coffee can become a covert weapon in the longevity arsenal. 1. The body as a vehicle analogy. First, let's establish a mental model. Imagine the human body as a reliable automobile. A car has an engine, a cooling system, lubrication pathways, and a fuel tank that feeds every moving part. When you drink a standard cup of coffee, you are essentially giving the engine a rapid burst of high-octane fuel. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, preventing the brain cell sleep signal and creating a feeling of alertness. That's useful, but it does nothing for wear and tear, rust, or coolant quality. In a bioactive brew, we add precisely engineered lubricants and cleaners, a set of biologically active compounds that work at the cellular level to reduce friction, prevent corrosion, and keep the internal components operating smoothly for decades. By coupling the stimulant power of caffeine with targeted antioxidants, mitochondrial cofactors, and joint-supporting molecules, the drink becomes a holistic maintenance fluid rather than a single-use boost. 2. Garden care metaphor, antioxidants, and the microbiome. Now picture a garden you tend every day. You water, fertilize, and pull weeds, all while ensuring the soil stays rich and the plants stay resilient against pests. In our bodies, the weeds are free radicals, highly reactive oxygen species that continuously assault cellular membranes, DNA, and proteins, accelerating the aging process. The soil is the intestinal microbiome, a bustling ecosystem that influences everything from immune balance to mood regulation. Our bioactive coffee incorporates a potent cocktail of antioxidants, polyphenol from lightly roasted beans, catechins sourced from green tea extracts, and a proprietary blend of probiotic-supporting enzymes. Think of these as premium compost and natural pesticides rolled into one. They neutralize free radicals, reduce oxidative stress, and foster a thriving gut flora, which in turn regulates up to 70% of immune function. Each sip acts like a gentle rainfall over your internal garden, strengthening the root system of health and encouraging the emergence of vibrant new leaf cells that are more resilient, less inflamed, and better at repairing themselves. 3. Muscle mass, metabolism, and mitochondrial efficiency. Most of us recall the vigor of youth, lifting boxes without a second thought, sprinting to catch a bus, or playing tag with grandchildren. With age, muscle fibers shrink, a process known as sarcopenia, and basal metabolic rate decelerates, much like an old refrigerator that no longer cools efficiently. Our enhanced brew includes scientifically vetted ingredients such as L-carnitine, in a pure, pharmaceutical-grade form, and chondroitin sulfate derived from marine cartilage. L-carnitine shuttles long-chain fatty acids across the mitochondrial membrane, effectively feeding the cell's power plants so they can burn fat more efficiently. Chondroitin, on the other hand, provides the building blocks for cartilage repair, acting as grease for joints that historically suffer from wear. Together, these components turn each morning cup into a dual-action treatment. You boost fatty acid oxidation, preserve lean muscle mass, and experience less joint discomfort during daily activities like climbing stairs, gardening, or hitting the golf course. 4. Cognitive clarity and mood stabilization. Neural pathways resemble the wiring of a house. Thousands of cables transmit electrical impulses that coordinate every thought, movement, and feeling. Over time, chronic stress, low-grade inflammation, and microvascular changes can cause these wires to become frayed or tangled, leading to decreased focus, memory lapses, and mood swings. The Bioactive coffee formula is enriched with nootropic agents, phosphatidylserine, delivered via soy-free lecithin, vitamin B6, pyridoxine hydrochloride, and the adaptogenic root extract Rhodiola rosea. These act as a skilled electrician, inspecting and repairing the circuitry. Phosphatidylserine supports membrane fluidity essential for synaptic communication. B6 is a cofactor in neurotransmitter synthesis, including serotonin and dopamine, and Rhodiola helps modulate the stress response by balancing cortisol levels. The result is sharper concentration, improved short-term memory, and an emotional steadiness that lets you enjoy tasks like assembling a model airplane with your grandchildren without feeling mentally exhausted. 5. Cardiovascular protection. The heart is the body's pump, constantly circulating blood through a network of vessels that must remain unobstructed and flexible. After the 6th decade, a common hazard is the gradual accumulation of lipid-rich particles, atherogenic lipoproteins, that can clog arterial walls, leading to hypertension and atherosclerosis. Our brew incorporates goji berry extract, rich in zeaxanthin and polysaccharides, algae-derived omega-3 fatty acids, EPA/DHA, and coenzyme Q10 in its ubiquinol form. Goji's bioactive polysaccharides help lower LDL cholesterol, omega-3s improve endothelial function and reduce triglyceride levels, while ubiquinol serves as a critical electron carrier in the mitochondrial respiratory chain, also acting as a powerful antioxidant for vascular tissue. Each gulp therefore functions like a routine service for the circulatory system, cleaning, lubricating, and reinforcing the arterial walls so they can handle a scenic drive along the California coastline without stuttering or overheating. 6. Crafting the bioactive brew at home. You might assume that creating such a sophisticated formula requires laboratory equipment. In fact, a humble kitchen kettle, a coffee filter, a wooden stirrer, and a handful of pantry shelf ingredients are sufficient. Step-by-step recipe serves 1. 1. Water base. Measure 200 milliliters of filtered, mineral-balanced water, think of it as the coolant. Heat to just under boiling, around 90 degrees Celsius 194 degrees Fahrenheit, to preserve heat-sensitive polyphenol. 2. Coffee selection. Use 1 to 2 teaspoons of freshly ground, lightly roasted Arabica beans. Light roasting retains higher concentrations of chlorogenic acids, which are powerful antioxidants. Brew using a pour-over or French press method, allowing the grounds to steep for 4 to 5 minutes, then filter. 3. Bioactive add-ins, prepared in a small bowl. 1/2 teaspoon of dried cranberry bark powder, rich in proanthocyanidins. 1/4 teaspoon of golden turmeric powder blended with a pinch of black pepper, piperine, to enhance curcumin absorption. 200 milligrams of L-carnitine tartrate, powdered. 1 milligram of ubiquinol, coenzyme Q10, from a soft gel capsule, opened and emptied. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds, plant-based omega-3 precursors and soluble fiber. 4. Integration. Add the powdered blend to a splash of the hot coffee, not boiling, to dissolve the actives, then stir the mixture back into the main cup with a wooden spoon, visualizing the way a mechanic evenly distributes fresh oil throughout an engine. 5. Consumption timing. Drink within 30 minutes of waking, when intestinal absorption mechanisms are most active and the body's startup sequence is primed for nutrient uptake. 7. Safety, interactions, and personalization. A common concern is whether this enriched coffee can safely coexist with prescription medication. The quantities used are deliberately modest. L-carnitine at 200 milligrams is well below the typical therapeutic dose. Ubiquinol at 1 milligram is a fraction of what is found in standard supplements, and the herb powders are comparable to culinary spices. Nonetheless, individuals on anticoagulants, e.g., warfarin, should monitor vitamin K intake from turmeric, and patients with blood pressure medication should watch sodium levels if they add salt elsewhere in their diet. As a rule of thumb, anyone with chronic conditions should discuss the brew with a healthcare professional before making it a daily habit. 8. Microbial boost, prebiotic inulin and gut health. While antioxidants battle oxidative stress, a thriving microbiome tackles inflammation from the inside out. To this end, we add a small pinch is almost equal to 1/2 gram of chicory-derived inulin, a soluble fiber that functions as a prebiotic feeding beneficial lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species. In clinical trials, daily inulin supplementation has been linked to a 15 to 20% increase in these bacterial populations, which correlates with reduced systemic inflammation, improved glycemic control, and higher production of short-chain fatty acids that support colon health. By integrating inulin, each cup of coffee becomes a fertilizer for the gut, amplifying the body's own anti-aging mechanisms. 9. The Golden Ritual, optimizing bioavailability. Research indicates that the rate at which a beverage traverses the gastrointestinal tract influences how well its phytonutrients are absorbed. A slower sip pattern allows bioflavonoids and other actives more residence time in the duodenum, where transporters are most abundant. Here's a practical ritual. 1. Pour half of the prepared brew into a large, heat-retaining ceramic mug. 2. Allow it to sit for 60 seconds, letting the temperature settle and the aroma diffuse. 3. Begin drinking in small, deliberate gulps, pausing between each sip to breathe deeply. 4. After the first half is consumed, refill the mug with the remaining brew and repeat the slow sip cycle. Holding the mug close to the torso warms the diaphragm, encouraging diaphragmatic breathing that can enhance splanchnic blood flow, a subtle thermal service that boosts nutrient transport. Studies suggest that this mindful approach can raise the bioavailability of polyphenol by up to 25%, turning each cup into a more potent therapeutic dose. 10. Choosing the right beans and storage. Not all coffee beans are created equal. For a bioactive brew, prioritize origin: high-altitude Arabica beans from Ethiopia, Colombia, or Kenya, where stress-induced phenolic compounds are naturally elevated. Roast level: light to medium light, city roast, to retain chlorogenic acids and tryptophan. Dark roasts lose a significant portion of these molecules due to prolonged heat exposure. Freshness: purchase whole beans and grind just before brewing. Oxidation begins within minutes of grinding. Airtight containers with one-way valves prolong freshness. Store beans in a cool, dark pantry, away from moisture and strong odors. A ceramic jar with a silicone seal is optimal. Proper storage preserves the integrity of the bioactive compounds, ensuring each cup delivers the promised health benefits. 11. Potential side effects and mitigation. Mild gastrointestinal upset, often due to the fiber in flaxseed or inulin. Counteract by increasing water intake and introducing the brew gradually, e.g., every other day for the first week. Jitteriness: if sensitive to caffeine, reduce the coffee portion to 1/2 teaspoon of grounds or switch to a decaffeinated, light roast base while retaining the additive matrix. Allergic reactions: rare, but possible with turmeric or cranberry bark. Conduct a skin prick test or start with a half dose if you have known sensitivities. Should any adverse reaction persist, discontinue use and consult a medical professional. 12. Future frontiers: research and innovation. The concept of a longevity coffee sits at the intersection of nutrigenomics, gerontology, and food science. Ongoing clinical trials are evaluating the synergistic effect of polyphenol-rich coffee combined with mitochondrial cofactors on telomere length preservation. Early data suggest a modest but statistically significant slowdown in telomere attrition among participants over a 12-month period. Moreover, investigators are exploring microencapsulation techniques that could protect heat-label compounds like curcumin, allowing even higher bioavailability without altering taste. Keep an eye on publications from the Longevity Institute at Stanford and the European Society for Clinical Nutrition, as they frequently publish updates that could refine the recipe further. 13. Personal stories, real-world impact. Marina, 68, retired teacher. I started the Bioactive coffee 3 months ago after a family member suggested it. I noticed I could walk my dog for an extra mile without knee pain, and my memory for client names at the senior center improves dramatically. My physician even noted a slight drop in LDL cholesterol at my last checkup. James, 72, former engineer. I was skeptical about adding turmeric and inulin to my espresso, but the taste turned out mellow. Within weeks, my morning energy plateau disappeared, and I no longer felt the midday crash that used to force me to nap. These anecdotes echo the emerging scientific consensus. When a nutritionally dense, bioactive blend is consumed consistently, the cumulative effect can manifest as measurable improvements in physiological markers and subjective well-being. 14. Integrating the brew into a holistic longevity lifestyle. While the coffee can act as a catalyst, true longevity requires a systems-level approach. Nutrition emphasizes whole foods, lean proteins, colorful vegetables, and healthy fats. The coffee should complement, not replace, a balanced diet. Physical activity. Incorporate resistance training 2 to 3 times per week to counteract sarcopenia, and add aerobic sessions, walking, cycling, for cardiovascular health. Sleep hygiene. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of restorative sleep. Quality rest is essential for cellular repair and memory consolidation. Stress management. Practices such as mindfulness meditation, deep breathing, or Tai Chi can synergize with the adaptogenic components of the brew, further dampening cortisol spikes. Medical oversight. Annual health screenings, vaccinations, and discussions with a primary care provider ensure that any emerging issues are caught early. When the bioactive coffee is woven into this tapestry of healthy habits, it becomes a daily maintenance check, a simple, pleasurable ritual that reinforces the larger system of self-care. 15. Call to action. If this exploration resonated with you, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for more science-backed longevity strategies, and share your own experiences with bioactive coffee in the comments. We'll be releasing a follow-up episode that dives deeper into the molecular pathways of chlorogenic acid and how they interact with sirtuin activation, a cornerstone of modern anti-aging research. Until then, brew mindfully, sip slowly, and let each cup be a step toward a longer, more vibrant chapter of your life.